right, Student Senate, if you'll go ahead and start finding your seats, please. I now call this meeting of the Kansas State University Student Governing Association Student Senate to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. All right, we'll now move into first roll call with Nathan.
Al Abdullah, Almadani, Beasley. Okay. Wait, was that here for Almadani or Beasley? Okay. Sorry. Belina, Betancourt, Bond, Booz, Bowers, Boykin, Brentsey, Burke, Carlson, Carr, Clark, Clements, Coggeshall, Colasico, Cruz, Dowd, Frederick, Gallardo, Gilliland King, Gillespie, Glasscock, Hamlin, Hines, Huffman, Jabin, Jonak, Kelly, Kerperin, Kidd, King, Koger, Kurzweil, Coleman, Lomshek, Lux, Matos, Meinhardt, Oxner, Orzakowski, Pelton, Payton, Phillips, Pruce, Rivera, Rodriguez, Reichert, Slichter, Smith, Snyder Ben, Snyder Blaine, Spellman, Wallace, Ward Kelly, Ward Shalin, Watkins, Whitmer, and Zimmerman. We have 38 senators present. Oh, Cruz is here. Okay.
All right.
Oh, wait, I need to do directors. Sorry. Belk, Bruner, Chiefchi, Cohen, Croslow, Dunfield, Gammon, Gertzen, Heisey, Hopfinger, Hornung, Horton, Karmali, Kulkarni, Land, Lundeen, Nunez, Penny, Polson, Steiner, and Wilbrandt. And then Riffle and Chummeland. And there are 10 directors present.
All right, moving into first open period, there are no first open period speakers. Into approval of the minutes, is there a motion to approve? Senator Snyder. It's been moved and seconded to approve the minutes. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, the minutes are approved. Moving into announcements for the week. First, if you're interested in tabling with GR next Tuesday, please fill out the doodle poll listed in the agenda or contact Justin Watkins. From Cheyenne Bruner, please do me a favor, go to the bars and ask bar staff and bar patrons what they want to see regarding a bystander intervention training. This includes topics that they want to cover, all areas in the bars that may have issues, or any sort of complication they need fixed. If you think that there's any more topics that should be covered, send Cheyenne Bruner an email. Third proxies for the week are Bowers for Smith, Burke for Gilliland King, and King for Brentsey. For SGA members of the week are Chair Watkins and the Governmental Relations Committee for their successful safe housing event this week. Quote of the week is double, double, toil and trouble, fire burning, cauldron bubble, William Shakespeare. All right, moving into committee reports. Are there any committee chairs that would like to give a report? Chair Oxner.
All right, my costume tonight is a K-State fan angry at the Big 12. So the Special Committee on Rural Student Success has been meeting. We've been discussing some items. We're going to be looking forward to our next meeting this coming Tuesday at 6 p.m., location to be determined. Feel free to come. We're going to be discussing what's going to be going on that survey that we're going to send out to the student body regarding rural student success and some other questions. So feel free to attend that and ask some questions. Feel free to email me. I'm going to make this really quick because I know we're all trying to get out of here. So just again, please feel free to contact with me. We're also looking at what we should be asking them regarding what their experience was in high school leading up to college and what their experience has been here at Kansas State University in the time being and moving forward. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, look up my email and Outlook, or just contact me after Senate. So go Cats. See you all in Lawrence on Saturday.
Any questions for our speaker? And we're going to hold applause. Okay. Thank you, Chair Oxner. Further committee reports. I'll yield my time to Caucus Leader Glasscock.
Hey, it's me, Creighton. This will be quick. This is about JCOC. So you'll see we're introducing a bill of disapproval for JCOC tonight in the Senate. However, I haven't seen anything in the rules that says there can't be multiple bills of disapproval. So the time is still there. If you want to write your own and submit it by Monday, get that through by November 15th. The rules has to be voted on by Senate by November 15th. That would be voted on by Senate by November 14th if you submit it by this Monday. Still an option. Something to think about. Bye-bye.
Any questions? All right, seeing none, further committee chair reports? Any director's reports? Director Lundin.
I'll also make this quick. So we sent out the call for proposals for the Green Action Fund a few weeks ago. All I'm wanting you guys to do is either spread awareness for the Green Action Fund, or if you know of any organizations that may be inclined to propose for allocations, just make sure that they get so in a timely manner.
All right, are there any questions for Director Lundin? All right, seeing none, further director's reports? Director Bruner.
Okay, hi everyone. This will be quick, but I can't wait until next week. I'm doing subconscious marketing. So those those of you who go to the bars, if you could just walk by staff and whisper "safe bar," that would be cool. Or you could be a little bit more direct and just talk to someone about it. Either way, perfectly fine. I'm just trying to get the word out.
All right, any questions for Director Bruner? All right, seeing none, further director's reports. Okay, seeing none, no college caucus time this week or minor allocations to approve. Oh, I am so sorry. Back to approval of appointments. Is there a motion to consider Resolution 43? Caucus Leader Glasscock. It's been moved and seconded to consider Resolution 43. Will the author please come forward?
Hold on. Resolution 19-2043, approval of the 2019-2020 SGA Elections Committee by Hannah Heatherman, Peter Moyer, Jansen Penny, and Haley Spellman. Whereas the Elections Committee is jointly appointed by the Student Body President, Speaker of the Student Senate, Attorney General, and Elections Commissioner, whereas this position was sufficiently advertised, whereas 10 individuals applied for the position and 5 applicants were selected to serve on the Elections Committee, and whereas this appointment is subject to approval by the Student Senate. Be it resolved that Section 1, the following individuals be approved as members of the Elections Committee for the 2019-2020 term. Oh wait, no, 2018-2019. No, that's right. 2019-2020. We can get that updated. Ashlyn Gillespie, Trey Coleman, Lala Schroeder, Matthew Swords, and Grace Wheeler.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to approve Resolution 43? Senator Beasley. It's been moved and seconded to approve Resolution 43 unanimously. Are there any objections? Seeing none, Resolution 43 is approved. Sorry, now moving into final action, will the author of Bill 34 please come forward? Yeah.
I move to table this bill until next meeting, and then we will vote on it.
It's been moved and seconded to table Bill 34 till next meeting. You have first right to debate. Do you want to explain? Go ahead.
All right, so we should table this because we only have 38 people present and we only have 3 proxies, which means that we do not have enough people to vote favorably on this. Because voting for a constitutional amendment requires 3/4 of the total amount of senators, which would currently be 45. So please vote to table.
All right, any questions for our speaker? All right, seeing none, any debate in the negative? Any debate at all? All right, those in favor of tabling Bill 34 to next week, please raise your right hand. Those opposed, same sign. All right, Bill 34 will be tabled till next week. Introduction of minor allocations. Yes. Yeah, we can get them sworn in. So if you guys will raise your right hand and say, "I will" at the end.
This is off the cuff, so I guess
Solemnly swear.
I do solemnly swear
Or affirm.
or affirm
That I will faithfully execute.
that I will faithfully execute
The office of Phase 2 intern.
the office of Phase 2 intern
And will to the best of my ability.
and will to the best of my ability
Preserve, protect, and defend.
preserve, protect, and defend
The Constitution of.
the Kansas State University Student Governing
The
Association.
Kansas State University Student Governing Association. All right, and now you guys will go. Oh my God! I'm sorry. Okay. 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 Now you'll say your name, hometown, major, and favorite smell. Okay.
Hi, I'm Emma McKee. I'm from Wamego. I'm majoring in industrial engineering, and my favorite smell is lavender.
I'm Megan Jaquist. I'm from Frankfort, Kansas. And I'm majoring in agricultural education and vocal performance. And my favorite smell is fresh cut alfalfa.
My name is Sophia Pausick. I'm from Olathe. I'm majoring in math, and my favorite smell is rain.
My name is Ashley Fox. I am from Lansing, Kansas. My major is business pre-law, and my favorite smell is oatmeal chocolate chip cookies.
Hello, my name is Dominic Urach. I'm from Udall, Kansas. I'm studying chemical engineering, and my favorite smell is the smell of ozone in the air before rain.
Hi, my name's Michael Arnold. I'm from Denver, Colorado. I'm majoring in mechanical engineering, and my favorite smell is fresh snow on the mountains.
Okay, before we move into introduction of minor allocations, is there anything else in this part of the agenda that needs to be taken care of? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to consider the minor allocations? Caucus Leader Glasscock. It's been moved and seconded to consider the minor allocations. We just have Bill 35, travel allocation of Beta Upsilon Chi, request 500, recommendation 500. Moving into introduction of legislation, is there a motion to consider Bill 36? Chair Oxner. It's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 36. Will the author please come forward? Senator Beasley. It's been moved and seconded to allow the author to summarize. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, you may summarize.
Wow, I can't get this thing to work right, but okay. So this is a bill that I started working on this summer, and it has a lot of things in it because it was intended to be a total overhaul of Article 4 of our bylaws, which describes the legislative branch. And so there are a lot of issues that have built up over time that I thought were necessary to address. This really started when, at the end of last year, when Haley Spellman and Matthew Orzechowski came to me with a proposal for making Governmental Relations Committee part of the standing committee section. And then, I took it from there and was helped by Hannah and Nathan to make it work. So it changes a number of things. I'll try to go over them relatively quickly. Please read the entire thing until you get to all the strike-throughs, because, that's just stuff that was moved around pretty much. So one, it changes the number of styling things. And then, two, it moves Governmental Relations Committee from its own section. It's in section 15, I believe, right now. And it moves it to part of section 9. And so section 9 is the standing committee section, and so it makes it a standing committee via that, even though we've treated it as a standing committee for a long time. It also changes the number of people that may go into a standing committee because typically we have around 45 people to put in, but if more of the committee chairs are if more of the committee chairs are people who aren't in Senate, then you have more people in Senate to assign to a committee. Or if there's more graduate students who want to be on a committee, then we have more people to assign to a committee. And so before this bill, we supposedly had a fixed number on every standing committee except for GR, which meant that GR was kind of like a dump committee almost. If you had more people that wouldn't kind of fit in the other committees, then you had to do that. Now, any committee except privilege fee can be a committee that could be raised to match the number of people we have interested in standing committees. We also changed various things like replacing governmental relations director with state and local relations director, and then added that sort of thing. I also made some tweaks to the description of other standing committees. For instance, DEI increased the number of possible at-large students by 1, and then Senate Ops added a section that describes how we're how we're overseeing elections, as well as kind of changing the formatting there. And then I also moved all the other committees of Student Senate into a section entitled Other Committees of Student Senate. So that's the section right after standing committees, and all new non-standing committees really should go in there. And then moved the college caucus system up, moved the statutes up before committees, and then finally replaced the references to Office of Student Activities and Services with the Center for Student Involvement. I think that's all the major changes. I may have missed some though, so please read it over the weekend or and give me any feedback you have. What?
Are there any questions or corrections for our author? Intern Phillips.
On the actual bill itself, it's Bill 35.
Yes, yeah.
Further questions? Senator Phillips.
On 606, correct? Yeah, so that would have been, I did not change that from the description or later in the bylaws. I think get out the vote works. So, yeah.
Further questions or corrections? Pro Tem Bothwell.
Can you add me as an author since I like wrote some of the stuff in it?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
Any further questions or corrections for the author? Senator Kelly.
Yes, I would say so. I like as far as sections, I'm just this is all changes to Article 4 of the bylaws. So that's the only section I'm changing. Yes. Follow up. Right. So if we're going to move things around, you're going to have to like pretty much include most, if not all, of the text of this article anyway. And right, the original ambition of this was to be a comprehensive reform of of Article 4 as well. So that's the second reason. It may not do that, but I think we can address some things in other bills, and hopefully this spins out a couple things to continue to improve our governing documents.
Are there any further questions or corrections? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to consider Bill 37? Senator Coker. It's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 37. Will the author please come forward?
I'm trying to figure out where exactly. There.
Bill 1920-37, Creation of the Special Committee on Diversity Programming Committee Reform by Nathan Bothwell and Delshay Roberts. Whereas it is necessary to continuously review the Kansas State University Student Governing Association bylaws and statutes, whereas the Diversity Programming Committee or DPC funding regulations are outlined in Chapter 24 of the KSU SGA statutes, whereas the Diversity Programming Committee membership guidelines are outlined in Article 4, Section 13 of the KSU SGA bylaws, whereas the Diversity Programming Committee currently allocates funds on a fiscal quarter system, whereas the fiscal quarter system is unique to DPC and has consistently caused confusion for funding applicants, whereas there have been multiple attempts to change or restructure DPC over the years, whereas Senate Bill 171893 and 171894 attempted to move the responsibilities of DPC to the Intercultural Leadership Council, whereas Senate Bills 171893 and Senate Bill 171894 were held indefinitely in the Senate Executive Committee, and whereas there have been no major attempts to restructure DPC since Bills 171893 and 171894. Be it resolved that Section 1, there is hereby established the Special Committee on Diversity Programming Committee Reform. Section 2, the Special Committee on Diversity Programming Committee Reform shall consist of the following voting members: Anna Kasner, Fatima Jagori, Rajat Kadira, Jordan Payton, Natalia Rodriguez. Section 3, the Special Committee on Diversity Programming Committee Reform shall be chaired by the following member, who shall only vote to break a tie: Delshay Roberts. Section 4, the Special Committee on Diversity Programming Committee Reform shall have the following individuals serve as non-voting ex officio members: Nathan Bothwell and Carson Chumland. Section 5, the committee shall work to outline new guidelines and procedures for Diversity Programming Committee. Section 6, the committee shall submit its final report with recommendations to the Speaker of the Student Senate by February 13th, 2020 for the benefit of the entire Student Senate. Section 7, the Special Committee on DPC Reform shall dissolve upon delivery of its report. And Section 8, the legislation shall take effect upon passage of Student Senate and signature of the Student Body President.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Chair Booz.
Yes, thank you, Chair Booz. So if you notice right now, there's only 5 voting members on the committee. We are going to have 7 by next week. I just wanted to introduce the bill now, so that way when it passes by next week, we can get a jump start on the time frame so that group can start meeting sooner. This is going to be referred to the Senate Executive Committee, and my intention is to amend it in committee next week with the new names. Just some departments didn't get back to us yet. So,
are there any further questions? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to consider Bill 38? Chair Oxer. It's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 38. Will the author please come forward?
All right.
Chair Oxner. It's been moved and seconded to allow the author to summarize. Are there any objections? Seeing none, you can summarize.
All right, cool. Okay, so this is Bill 19-2038, so it's disapproval of the Joint Committee on Officer Compensation Salary recommendations. So I'm just going to read a few of the important whereas clauses that I think are important. Okay, so whereas the report is issued every 3 years and recommends the salaries for the KSU SJ officers for the following 3 years, whereas the methodology of the Joint Committee in making their recommendation for the allocation chairs involved inaccurate information regarding the outdated titles, whereas the report presented does not mention any explanation into how the comparability of positions was determined, whereas the report fails to offer an explanation for the salaries offered to the Governmental Relations and Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee chairs whose positions have historically been unpaid, and whereas the report does not show that the committee reached out to previous KSU SJ officers for their insights about salary changes. And then I'm also going to read be enacted section 2. The KSU SGA enumerates the following reasons for their disapproval. 1, the 2019 JCOC report failed to state the criteria for how salaries were determined. 2, the report failed to explain the rationale for the compensation of positions that in the past have been unpaid. 3, the report issued has inconsistencies related to the on-campus and travel allocations based on inaccurate information about outdated titles of KSU SGA officers. Section 3, KSU SGA recommends the following actions be taken by the committee in their review: investigate and consider the time spent by current and former KSU SGA officers on work relating to their positions. 2, present a rubric with the criteria that was used to determine salaries. 3, make changes to the report as warranted by further findings.
Are there any questions or corrections for the author? Chair Booz. Further questions or corrections? All right, seeing none, is there a motion to consider Bill 39? Senator Beasley. It's been moved and seconded to consider Bill 39. Will the author please come forward? Senator Coker. It's been moved and seconded to allow the author to summarize. Are there any objections? All right, seeing none, you may summarize.
Okay, so Wildcats Against Sexual Violence is hosting Wildcat Walk to End Sexual Violence on April 23rd. They're hosting a speaker who I am told is from like The Bachelor, which I guess is a show, and yeah, it should be a good event. They're requesting $1,110. We had no reason not to fund that request, and that was our decision.
Right, are there any questions or corrections for the author? Go ahead.
Yo, Adrian.
Okay, seeing none, we'll now move into second open period. Are there any second open period speakers? Caucus Leader Spellman?
I'll make this short, I promise. Raise your hand if you're registered to vote in Manhattan. Okay, raise your hand if you've already voted in this year's election. Next Tuesday is going to be election day in Manhattan. So regardless of whether you're registered in Manhattan or outside, the state of Kansas is having local elections. So like city commissioners, school board, there's a lot of important issues on the ballot. Make sure to go out and vote, and go Cats.
Any questions? Director Lundeen.
Go to ksvotes.org. That'll show you where your precinct is.
Any further questions? Okay, further second open period speakers. Senator Coker.
More than anything, I just wanted to go up here so Sadie could take my picture and send it to my mother. But other than that, I'd like to just tell you guys all to be safe tonight. There's a lot of people that look to us as leadership on campus, and if we're doing things that people in leadership positions shouldn't be doing, it doesn't set a good example. So don't do anything your mom, well, maybe. Some of us have fun moms. Don't do anything your grandma wouldn't approve of.
For their second open period speakers, intern coordinator Colburn. Are there any questions? All right, further open period speakers, Chair Watkins.
On the announcements on the agenda, there's a sign up to table on information. We need more people to sign up. So if you have time on Tuesday, sign up. You can work for like an hour or less. It'll be fine. Thank you.
Further second open period speakers, Deputy Attorney General Hess. Further open period, Caucus Leader Kidd.
Hey guys, happy Thursday. So happy Halloween if you've got it, haunted it. So I met with Chair Ripple earlier this week, and so we have some exciting things happening with trying to get the word out about Prithvi, all of what it means and whatnot. So we thought to pilot our presentation, we bring it here to Senate. And so surprise for Prithvi committee, will be doing some fun stuff soon, but bring your phone or some sort of mobile internet connecting computing device in the next 1 to 3 weeks. Thank you. That is all.
Any questions? All right, further second open period speakers. Where's that green folder at? Did it make it anywhere today? Okay. Well, right, we just have a whole one this week, so we're going to do it. Shout out to Ryan Kelly. He always has good advice and encourages me relentlessly. That guy's my dog. Emphasis on the OG as opposed to OG, because that's the cooler spelling. So you can get your piece of candy from Marissa in the back. Thank you. Okay. With that, we'll move into reference of legislation. Bill 36 will be referred to Senate Operations, 37 and 38 to Senate Executive Committee, and 39 to on-campus allocations. And then with that, we'll move into second roll call.
Okay, Al Abdullah, Al Madani, Beasley, Belina, Betancourt, Bond, Booz, Bowers, Boykin, Brency, Burke, Carlson, Carr, Clark, Clements, Coggeshall, Colasico, Cruz, Dowd, Frederick, Gallardo, Gillen King, Gillespie, Glasscock, Hamlin, Hines, Huffman, Jabin, Jonak, Kelly, Kerperin, Kidd, King, Koger, Kurzweil, Coleman, Lomshek, Lux, Matos, Meinhardt, Oxner, Orzakowski, Pelton, Payton, Phillips, Preuss, Rivera, Rodriguez, Reichert, Slichter, Smith, Snyder-Ben, Snyder-Blaine, Spellman, Wallace, Ward Kelly, Ward Shalin, Watkins, Whitmer, and Zimmerman. We have 43 senators present.
Okay, we'll now move into adjournment. Senator Beasley. It's been moved and seconded to adjourn till next week, same time, same place. Okay, this meeting is adjourned. Thank you. Be safe tonight.